So I think crypto is very important, should not be reduced to the day-to-day movements of what's going on in the market, but should be really seen as a sort of broader infrastructure play. And the infrastructure, unlike in 2018 when we had the last bear market, is here to stay. Hi, welcome everyone. Thank you for the introduction, and very big thank you to our valued partner Gen2 for giving us the opportunity to present here today. I think you probably already guessed it by the dramatic title that I'm going to talk about the current state of the crypto market. Now, I think while FTX, is probably has been the pinnacle and the most heavily publicized case of a disastrous year of 2022, it was certainly in very good company, right? I think you all heard about BlockFi, Voyager, 3 Arrows Capital, all of these guys. Now, I think the bigger question is whether or not 2022 can actually act as a sort of wake-up call, or if we are going to go back to business as usual in crypto. And let me start off with 3 theses where we believe the space is essentially heading towards. And the first one, I think, is not very controversial. We are already seeing this. Regulation is inevitable. I think if you are following a little bit not only the day-to-day market, but really what's going on in the space, and also what the regulatory efforts on this side and on the other side of the Atlantic are, you can see that the European Union is actually moving towards a coherent regulatory framework called MiCA that is essentially regulating crypto assets for all EU member states, right? On the other side of the Atlantic in the US, the regulator, and especially the SEC, has taken a bit more of an aggressive approach with basically imposing fine and arresting everyone in the past couple of weeks, and that without any legislative changes from Congress. The second thesis is that institutional adoption is actually only getting started. I think this is also not that controversial. All of you guys work in finance. I think whoever you talk to, it's always a topic, right? And this is also not something that is constrained to some niche players, but essentially everyone is looking at it. Also these guys, that publicly claim that, they're not touching it, it's not an asset class, etc. We know that they are looking at it, and they are pretty advanced in their internal assessments of actually onboarding crypto. So I think crypto is very important, should not be reduced to the day-to-day movements of what's going on in the market, but should be really seen as a sort of broader infrastructure play. And the infrastructure, unlike in 2018 when we had the last bear market, is here to stay. I think nobody is questioning whether crypto will survive or not, but rather in which direction it is going. And I think it's also fair to say that crypto is still in its early days. It's still awaiting its big iPhone moment. We are not there yet. But I think the overall institutional support is definitely here to stay. Then, basically, just putting the last 2 slides together, I think it's hardly a stretch to say that market shares will eventually shift from non-licensed to licensed entities. And I think this development is essentially driven by 2 different factors. On one hand side, we have the regulatory side, which, as we've seen, will go into the direction of cracking down on these non-regulated players. I think there was too much free rein for too long a time, and the regulator has recognized that now. And then on the other side, it's also the investor, right? I think most of the investors, what they are looking for is a secure and trusted partner within the space. And that's not very easy, and this is exactly our pitch. So if you would like to hear more about what it actually means to have a full-fledged Swiss banking license with crypto in its DNA, please visit us at our booth or please reach out. Thank you very much.